Hello, fellow Toastmasters. As we know, the American Greetings Toastmaster Club is coming to an end. And today I'd like to share some of my thoughts on my adventures, my journey in Toastmasters at American Greetings. As many of you know, I was never planned on joining Toastmasters, despite the fact that many of my friends encouraged me to join. And it wasn't until that one fateful moment when somebody was sharing with me about table topics, and I immediately closed down and thought, there's no way I would ever join Toastmasters. And as I walked away from that conversation, I had a lightning experience. Because one of the fears I had, especially with the idea of doing table topics, was that I would make a fool of myself. But then that fateful moment, it occurred to me that I was making a fool of myself almost every day. When people asked me questions, I would often stumble and bumble over my words, not making sense at all. And I'll be honest with you, frankly, I was embarrassed. That moment, it occurred to me, that's exactly what I needed. Ralph Smedley says, when you talk, you give yourself away. You reveal your true character in a picture which is more true and realistic than anything an artist can do for you. I knew at that moment I wanted and needed to paint a new picture. When I finally decided to join Toastmasters, I checked online for a number of clubs and checked out a couple of them. None of them really impressed me. And then I remember walking into the American Greetings Toastmaster Club at American Greetings. It was scary, but fortunately a friend of mine joined me with that encounter. I immediately felt at home. I don't know if it was because American Greetings had that creative energy to it, or that the people in the club were so warm and welcoming. At that time, we used to have a greeter that shook hands and welcomed and greeted everyone that came into the room, both guests as well as members. And fortunately, American Greetings, though it was a corporate club, they allowed members from outside of the club to join. Thank goodness for that. I remember going to probably 8 to 10 meetings before I finally signed on the dotted line. That's how afraid I was. That was on October 1st, 2007. Oh my, how the years pass. 16 years ago. That's approximately 800 meetings. I remember that Terrell and Wendy were there, and probably Stacy and Dave as well. I know that Wendy was the president at that time, and she was very pregnant. She was very welcoming and warm. I think she was there for maybe 1 or 2 more meetings, and then she was out on maternity leave. But I could tell this was the place I wanted to come to. It was a good, strong, well-run, very active and productive club. At that time, we were fighting for speech slots, and we signed up for roles a month ahead of time. I remember Tim Burns, who some of you will remember, that used to always start the club meetings and say, "Welcome to American Greetings Toastmaster Club at American Greetings Corporation." We've had many great people who have passed through the doors over the years. Kim Wren, Kim McBride, Wendy Fadan, who eventually returned to Toastmasters. Tracy Baldwin, Kathleen Stefanson, Linda Snyder, Kelly Jones, and Audrey Jones, Kelly Schramm, Anand Moore. Brian Munch, and so many more. And we had a couple of shady characters throughout the years as well. It was always fun to welcome new members to the club, and a delight to see members as they learned, grew, and blossomed after being in our club for a while. But today I want to share about those who are staples in this club. First of all, our longest standing member, Tara Bowler, sometimes known as Terrell, and a number of other strange pronunciations. Terrell joined the club shortly after it was chartered about 32 years ago. He also supported the club as our parliamentary procedure specialist. We could always count on him to help us out with the proper way to run the meeting. He has filled a variety of officer roles many times throughout the years. He has been the backbone of the club, as well as our chief cook and bottle washer at our picnics for many years. Terrell, thank you for your support, expertise, wisdom, and devotion to the club for all of these years. Wendy Fadan has been such an inspiration. As I mentioned, she was there when I first joined. I spoke to her on the phone before I even came to the first meeting because she was the president. She invited me to come and check out the club. She's been in and out of the club a number of times, but every time she rejoins, she dives right in, filling club roles and officer roles. She started out terrified to even speak to anyone. Now, I was shy, but she puts a new meaning to the word shy. And she went from that shy young girl to this dynamic woman who writes, teaches, does her artwork, organizes retreat, does caricatures and book fairs, and is a mom of 2 teenage kids on top of that. She has an endless list of talents that just continue to grow and spread around the countryside like John Appleseed. She always adds a cheerful present to any role she fills. She was even our guest speaker at an open house recently. Stacy Nisley, another strong or long-standing member. Stacy's been a devoted member for many years, always a strong presence. She's been a great connection link between the club and American Greetings Company, always making sure our club information got posted in the company newsletter and the website. She also spoke with those in charge to promote our club at AG. She would always whip up a flyer for our open house, a contest, or a special meeting. She's been our VP of Ed for a long time, making sure that a theme is picked for each of our meetings and that we properly record all awards to Toastmasters International. Dave Metlica, another longtime member. I can remember when he first started, or when I first started, Dave was really challenged by doing table topics. His face would turn bright red. He really struggled to answer those table topics questions. But by the magic of Toastmasters, he found a way to respond by keeping us cool and sometimes segueing into answering the question in a slightly different way. It was an amazing turnaround and such a joyance. Yep, joyance is a word. We're going to call that our word for the day, joyance. But it was a joyance seeing how Toastmasters changed his life. Dave has always been our webmaster for the years, through the years, and doing what I don't know how to do. At least I'm not capable of this time. So I truly appreciate all his hard work. Linda Snyder was always an enthusiastic member of the club. She quickly became an officer and was eager to fill roles or give speeches. She was a fierce competitor who frequently entered contests. I remember her humorous garage sale speech. It was always great to have her at a party or a picnic because she always brought the best food and the most delicious desserts. Thank you, Linda. Renata, who cannot be with us today, always added a flair to the club, especially with table topics. Most of us used to whine about doing table topics, but I think she loved them and often received the Toastmaster Award of the day when she spoke. She always added a creative aspect to her speaking and a new perspective on things. She sent me an email saying she was sad to hear the club was ending, but that she really enjoyed being part of it and felt she really grew as a result of being part of this club. Alan has been great to have in our club. Alan started out very enthusiastically, filling roles, giving speeches, and even becoming an officer. But unfortunately, work has kept him away, way too busy, and he's missed a lot of our meetings. And today, at one of our meetings, we found out one of his favorite winter activities is being Santa. So maybe one of these days we can see him dressed up in his suit. We always love to have him at our meetings when we can. Julie, one of our newest members, is full of enthusiasm and passion. She wants to find ways to support and advocate for her daughter with special needs. I remember she gave her icebreaker speech before she even signed up as a Toastmaster or even chose her path. Julie, I hope you connect with another Toastmaster club because I know you have a lot to learn and you definitely have much to share. Of course, I hope everybody finds another Toastmaster club. And if not, I hope you use your Toastmaster skills to get you through your life experiences. Louise DeBell, thank you for being our coach of our club for the last couple of years. You were always there to take a role or maybe a couple of roles at the last minute to make our meetings possible. You also provided us with ideas and suggestions on how to improve and grow our club. You have been a lifeline. As I mentioned earlier, this club is 32 years old. Yes, 32 years old. Our club was chartered on April 1st, 1991. The average life of a Toastmaster club is 15.7 years. And we've managed to survive 32 years, more than twice the length of the average club. Through the 32 years, we have had a well-run, strong meetings, many amazing speeches, successful open houses, competitive speeches, Christmas parties, Halloween parties, officer trainings, conferences, and our yearly picnics. We've developed our skills, laughed, learned, and grown together. And of course, much more. As Ralph Smedley said, we learn best in our moments of enjoyment, and we definitely had many moments of enjoyment in this club. We always continue to cover roles and have good meetings, even when we only had 2, 3, or 4 members at the club. And I think that's just amazing. This club has weathered many storms, many layoffs where we lost members, the move to the new location when we lost more members. When COVID hit, we managed to quickly revamp and regroup forces, and we began our Zoom phase of American Greetings. Who would have ever believed? After COVID, we began to integrate the hybrid meetings for our in-person meetings. Talk about a learning curve. Yikes. a very big thank you to Tara for that one, because he really put it out there to make sure that we got things connected before the meeting was begun. Thank you, Tara. Now, the average tenure of a Toastmaster is 2.4 years, but most of the individuals in this group have been here way longer than 2.4 years. In fact, most of the members of this Toastmaster Club have been members for 10 to 15 years. That's quite commendable. I have found a quote which I really love about Toastmasters. Toastmasters is an oasis in a desert of negativity for many people. I have often said that I always feel better when I leave a Toastmaster meeting than when I came. I think this is amazing, and seldom do we ever experience that anywhere we go in our lives. I love how Toastmasters gives us an opportunity to share those skills I love how Toastmaster gives us the opportunity to learn skills in leadership, listening, and in speech giving. And then it gives us the opportunity to share those skills by mentoring other new members. It is such a supportive, encouraging experience all around. Ralph Smedley said, "Ours is the only organization I know dedicated to the individual. We work together to bring out the very best in each of us, and then we apply these skills to help each other." I think we should be very proud of the many ways our Toastmaster Club has touched our lives and how we have contributed to the helping others to do the same. It was a good run, but as they say, all good things must come to an end. I, for one, will miss our weekly meetings, times together, seeing each of your faces and hearing your stories. As Bob Hope used to say, thanks for the memories. And I would add to that, they will forever hold a place in my heart. I certainly wish you all the very best and hope our paths cross again sometime. Hope we can stay connected and perhaps we can have a reunion sometime. Be well, my friends. It's been a pleasure knowing each and every one of you.